of us. It doesn't matter whether we're black or white, Latino, Asian American, or Native American. It doesn't matter whether we're straight or gay. We're one people, we're one family, we're one house. We all live in the same house.
And sad news coming out of Atlanta, Georgia. Civil rights icon and U.S. Representative John Lewis has died.
The congressman, who was battling cancer for months, passed away at his home on Friday. He was 80 years old. This morning, we're taking a look at his life and legacy.
We're marching today to dramatize to the nation, dramatize to the world.
From Selma to Washington, John Lewis dedicated his life to the fight for civil rights.
On one hand, we made a lot of progress, but come distant. But we're not there yet.
The son of sharecroppers, he believed nonviolent action could ignite social change.
We can change America, and in changing America, we can change the world.
I was beaten by state troopers.
Arrested dozens of times, he became one of the original freedom riders, challenging laws in the South which prohibited black and white riders from sitting together on interstate buses, the buses most often targeted by angry mobs. In 1963, he helped organize the March on Washington, when hundreds of thousands of activists gathered at the National Mall to hear one of the iconic speeches in American history. Later, Lewis worked to organize the marches from Selma to Montgomery, which included the confrontation on the Edmund Pettus Bridge, where marchers were met by Alabama state troopers. As he grew older, he took his fight for social justice to Congress. One paper said he was the only major former civil rights leader to extend his fight for human rights to the halls of the Capitol. One of the leading liberals in Washington, Lewis, didn't back down from a fight.
The time for silence and patience is long gone. We're calling on the leadership of the House to bring common sense gun control legislation to the House floor. Give us a vote.
In his later years, he spent much of his time educating and inspiring the next generation.
And I said to all of the young people, you must get out there and push and pull and make America what America should be for all of us.
From his activism in the civil rights movement.
In 2011, President Obama, the nation's first African-American president, awarded John Lewis the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor.
And generations from now, when parents teach their children what is meant by courage, the story of John Lewis will come to mind.
That courage was tested again when Lewis learned he had stage 4 pancreatic cancer. He said, "I have decided to do what I know to do and to do what I have always done. I'm going to fight it." John Lewis, who believed equality could not wait.
And this morning, tributes are pouring in for the late Lewis.
Yeah, the NAACP tweeted, quote, "We are deeply saddened by the passing of John Lewis. His lifelong mission for justice, equality, and freedom left a permanent impression on our nation and world. The NAACP extends our sincerest condolences to his family, and we send prayers of comfort and strength to all." Former presidents are also honoring his legacy. Bill Clinton tweeting, quote, "John Lewis gave all he had to redeem America's unmet promise of equality and justice for all, and to create a place for us to build a more perfect union together. In so doing, he became the conscience of the nation. Hillary and I were blessed by his friendship, support, and wise counsel. We'll miss him so much, but we'll always be grateful that he lived to see a new generation of Americans take to the streets in search of his long-sought, beloved community."
And former President Barack Obama issued a statement that reads in part, "John Lewis, one of the original Freedom Riders, chairman of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, the youngest speaker on the March on Washington, leader of the march from Selma to Montgomery, member of Congress representing the people of Georgia for 33 years, not only assumed that responsibility, he made it his life's work. He loved his country so much that he risked his life and his blood so that it might live up to its promise. And through the decades, he not only gave all of himself to the cause of freedom and justice, but inspired generations that followed to try to live up to his example."
And we'll continue to follow tributes to the late John Lewis. Just head to clickondetroit.com for the latest. And tributes are also pouring in after the death of another civil rights leader, the Reverend C.T. Vivian. His civil rights work stretched back more than 6 decades. In 2013, he received the Presidential Medal of Freedom. The Reverend Dr. Wendell Anthony knew Vivian well. He spoke to us about the time C.T. Vivian was confronted by an Alabama sheriff while trying to help black people register to vote in Alabama in 1965.
And I said, CT, what made you continue to talk and to advocate to vote when the man had knocked you down and could have taken you out? He said, Reverend, I'll tell you, I didn't have a choice. I had to keep on talking, because if I had stopped talking, the people would have lost hope. And I've never wanted them to lose hope. And so I said to him, you may knock me down, you may beat me down, but you cannot knock justice down.
And a family friend says Vivian died at his Atlanta area home of natural causes. He was 95 years old. Time now is 6:07, and to the latest on the coronavirus pandemic. The state reporting 660 new cases of coronavirus, up just slightly from the previous day.
The Michigan High School Athletic Association deciding fall sports will be played as normal, not moved to the spring as had been considered. Governor Gretchen Whitmer also issuing another executive order on masks. The new rule says businesses cannot assume unmasked customers aren't wearing one because they can't medically tolerate it, and are calling on businesses to ask customers for a verbal explanation. The governor says the new rule is needed to make sure cases don't rise across the state.
And with so many struggling to get help from the Michigan Unemployment Agency, now a state contractor is being charged by the feds with a multi-million-dollar fraud scheme. The feds say a 39-year-old Detroit woman used her insider access at the agency to help herself to $2 million. Our Mara McDonald has more.
According to the feds, this is how this whole thing worked. Hawkins was the person inside the agency, working with multiple people outside the agency. Now, they would submit these fraudulent claims. She'd sign off on them. They'd get millions of dollars that were meant for Michiganders who'd been laid off because of COVID.
The feds dropping the hammer on Hawkins. Per the federal complaint, 39-year-old Brandi Hawkins signed off on $2 million of fake unemployment claims, and when they searched her house in Detroit, found $200,000 in cash on hand, as well as numerous new high-end luxury items.
The case is about fraud, it's about theft, and really what it boils down to is this is the money of the taxpayers. This is the people's money that the people expect is going to go to help people who are suffering during the pandemic.
So where's the rest of the $1.8 million Hawkins is alleged to have signed off on those fraudulent claims? U.S. Attorney Matthew Schneider will only say the case is ongoing. And what's even worse, COVID fraud is a real thing the feds are dealing with during the pandemic. Detroit's outpost of the Department of Justice is one of the busiest offices in the country already. And now this.
We have more public corruption cases here than anywhere else. We have more exploitation of children here than anywhere else. We have more healthcare fraud than anywhere else. So we're always working hard. Now, on top of that, we've got virus fraud. We've got coronavirus fraud. We've got a pandemic, and people are taking advantage of it.
Virus fraud, we're not just talking about this, but all sorts of stuff, like people peddling phony masks. We're downtown. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
All right, Mara. Well, the Imagine Theater in Novi broke in their brand new drive-in theater Friday night.
Yeah, this sounds pretty cool. Bohemian Rhapsody lit up the big screen for a sold-out show. The drive-in is featuring a different movie every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night at 9:30. Tickets cost $30 per vehicle, with up to 6 people allowed in each car. And car placement is a matter of first come, first serve.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've only done a drive-through once, but this is really the time to try it again.
It was the first date that my fiance and I took, was to a drive-in.
Really?
Yes, it was.
Was it like the movies?
It was a little like the movie. Yeah, it was pretty good.
We'll save that conversation for the commercial break.
Well, we got a lot more coming up for you this morning. But first, let's check back in with Andrew. Hey, Andrew.
Good morning to both of you. Hey, this evening and tonight, not bad for a drive-in movie, but on 4 Live radar, as you can see, showers and thunderstorms in our midst. So when do they arrive here? We'll talk about that for your Sunday forecast. And of course, the high heat and humidity coming right up.
Back to school is on everyone's mind. From policies to student-teacher health and safety concerns to how families are coping. Local 4 and Click on Detroit are committed to covering the education crisis.